So, hello everyone. I wanted to come on here and do an eclipse reading for the twin flames. I wanted to do it this weekend, but the eclipse energy was wiping me out. So I spent a lot of time just kind of taking care of myself. But here we are today. I am ready to do a reading. Been feeling called to do it for a couple of days. Just kind of been waiting on my body to acclimate to the energies. So I'm going to use the Light Seers deck. I've already done a shuffle. We'll do 3 cards across the front, 1 at the bottom, and then we'll clarify those 3 cards. So the first card we're going to look at is the energy of the connection at this time. So give me the energy of the connection at this time. The energy of the connection at this time. What is the energy of the connection at this time? I'm feeling that things are just feeling into the energy and kind of swimming in it this weekend. I feel like there's a lot of change happening on a cellular level for one, and then also there's a change in belief systems. I feel like there's a letting go of limiting beliefs or just old beliefs that no longer serve the connection, and this desire to bring it into balance. So that's just what I'm feeling energetically already. What's the energy of the connection? We get the 9 of Swords. Let me just double check that we can all see that. Yeah, great. Okay, so the 9 of Swords. And then what changes is it bringing in? I did see the Lovers on the bottom. So this is telling me that there's some sleepless nights. There's communication coming from the divine, like spirit communication coming through, and there's this this energy of it being very confusing, and there's a lot of like mental energy of trying to figure out what it all means. And this is for both sides. And then we have the 2 of Cups with the 8 of Cups for the changes that it's bringing in this eclipse and what they're being asked to let go of for both twins. All right, so just to get us started here, and then we'll do a potential outcome at the end. So yeah, the 9 of Swords, as far as the energy of the connection, I'm just kind of drawn to these birds up here. They're kind of flying crazy, and it just seems like a lot of chaotic energy. But then here's a white bird just coming in really smoothly, and I feel like that's breaking up this more chaotic energy that the twins are feeling when they're trying to understand the next steps in the direction of unity with one another. And I feel like this is mostly happening at night, so there could be some sleepless nights, some kind of tossing and turning. Let me get some more cards on that. Tell me about this 9 of Swords. Why is this 9 of Swords here? Tell me about this 9 of Swords. Justice. So this is the making a decision, this coming into balance and understanding that an action needs to be taken, and this could be I feel like for the feminines, it could be, should I reach out? Should I, um, there's a lot of thought about what can I do? Can I do anything? And Justice is coming in with this energy of just maintaining a sort of balance. And I'm kind of drawn to, on this Justice card, is there's two different, there's like the shadow side of being very clear, but then there's the consequences to those decisions. For instance, let's say that one of you's in a relationship and you're wanting to move forward with your twin flame, then that would require you to move away from that karmic situation. And although on one side you may be feeling pretty clear about that and understanding that that's the direction you want to go in, this can cause a lot of heartache, because most likely you care about that other person, or your twin flame cares about the person that they're in a relationship with. And there is just I feel like that might be what's causing the stress, is that someone's going to get hurt in this situation. Like if you have to leave a marriage or a relationship that's been long term, then breaking up isn't easy to do. So even though you may be clear on the direction that you want to go for either twin, it still can cause some heartache on the other side, knowing that you're ending something that you've been in for a while. And then tell me more about this Justice card. And we have the Fool with the Lovers, and that's just beautiful. This is talking about a willingness to make the decisions that allow you to move forward in the direction of the lovers, the direction of coming together with the masculine and the feminine energies. So this is kind of taking a leap of faith. So even though it may seem like you're being asked to leave your old life behind, and the whole idea of changing that situation can cause some stress and chaos in your life, it's still, this is just the minor arcana. So the Nine of Swords it's a minor energy in comparison to these three major arcanas that are coming up. So this is like the energy that is really guiding the connection at this time. This is the need for balance. This is taking a leap of faith, and taking a leap of faith into the direction of your heart and following that. And that's overriding any stress that you may be feeling. And that's kind of like this little white bird here is kind of coming in through all of this confusion and all of this chaos and giving you peace if you're willing to tap into that. And I feel like with these cards, both twins are finding peace in their current situation and accepting their heart's true desire and willingness to move forward in that. Okay, so that's awesome. On the bottom of the deck, we have the World. I'm really just... It's the first time I've ever done it without me being able to look at the camera, so I don't know. There we go. There's the World card, which is talking about just the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And that is part of what we're looking at here as far as what these eclipse energies are kind of eclipsing out of the twins' life. And we have the Two of Cups with the Eight of Cups. This is talking to me about walking away from a partnership that no longer serves you, and walking towards your Nine of Cups, like walking towards something that's emotionally fulfilling, and willing to leave the old life behind, which I feel like for a lot of the twins includes some sort of partnership. And this can even talk about, a family relationship or business relationship. But I do feel like this is something that they've been emotionally tied to for a while. They're deciding to walk away from it because it's not what they want. Ultimately, they have realized that it's not what they want. So let's get tell me about this Two of Cups and Eight of Cups together. Yeah, we got the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very clear about his direction. He's very methodical, strategic, and this card in particular, I've always been drawn to the different animals that are here, and they're all actually birds or things that fly in the air, and so it's like this is kind of allowing their emotions and how they feel about a particular life that they've been living, kind of putting that down and understanding that it's not the right thing for them and moving forward and making the decisions to move on from that. So this is kind of like a clear decision to follow their heart and let go of any emotional attachments that they had prior to this eclipse. So this is kind of, and I knew this was going to be a big deal with this eclipse energies because it's really strong, it's really intense, and it's like there's this idea of, everybody has free will, and this is true. However, I've heard it explained like this, and it made a lot of sense with the free will, is what we think of as free will. For instance, somebody, let's just say, for example, that you have somebody, you're dealing with somebody who's resisting a soul connection and they're resisting their heart and they feel like, well, that's their free will decision. And it's like, is it really? Because it's based on, that decision that they're making is based on programming, societal conditions, how they were, what they were taught about love as a small child. And so that's the things that are making their decisions today. And so can that really be viewed as free will, and I'm kind of in the opinion that that's not free will. You're only acting from free will for real is when you are in alignment with your soul's desire. Then you have the free will to make the choices that your soul is calling you to make, and that's when you move into true free will, not this programmed version of you. And I feel like that's kind of where both twins are stepping into their soul's desire and acting from that place and taking steps from that place. Whereas before, you may have been acting from more of a programmed place and resisting the connection, which is a balanced connection. And so the universe is all about balance, and it's always like looking to balance itself out. And so any a connection that requires balance is going to pull those two energies together to balance them out. So I feel like the twins are really moving into this place of balance within themselves, which is causing the balance of the connection. And the eclipse energies are kind of like, I feel like I see like this wave of, like if you've ever spent any time in the ocean, there's like sometimes that wave gets so big, it doesn't matter how firmly you're planted in the sand, that wave will knock you over and take you. And you can either choose to go with it or go against it, but either way, you're going where the wave is taking you. And I feel like that's what the eclipse is doing for the twins at this time. Okay, maybe a little bit of a rant. Still kind of working on my my YouTube style for reading. Okay, so then what's coming, that's what the energies are bringing in, what they're taking out. So what's being eclipsed out of the connection for the twins, we get the Hierophant, and I'm going to pull a couple more cards about that, but that to me is talking about what I had mentioned earlier of traditional beliefs about love. So I feel like for a lot of you, there may be this belief that, and this is a subconscious belief, and I've noticed this in my personal readings, there's subconscious beliefs that exist in the twin that a love like this doesn't exist. It's not real. And in order to move forward in this connection, to move forward in unity, that belief has to go. It can't live in the energy of a twin flame connection. And so I feel like that's a big one, like it's too good to be true, or all these beliefs about the connection and about love and unconditional love. I feel like a lot of twins have been hurt when it comes to love, and so they've formed some opinions about it that are keeping this connection from coming into balance and coming into unity. And that's something also that the eclipse is, the energies of the eclipse are kind of washing away. And there's not this need to, necessarily dive super deep into your subconscious and really understand it. It's kind of like it just washes it away on its own. So it's like you're getting help from the universe in clearing those beliefs, and that's happening for both twins. So what's the card? Tell me about this Hierophant. We get the Two of Swords. So this is like, just talking about these beliefs that have been holding us back, that have caused us confusion and kept us kind of wrapped up in our own little world and keeping us away from understanding this connection. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if you're holding a belief that this kind of love isn't real or it doesn't exist, then you're not going to be able to see it for what it is. And I feel like that's, with this Two of Swords here, it's talking about that the eclipse is kind of, the energies of that is, like I said before, kind of washing that away. And we're getting the King of Cups with that, which is talking about someone who's holding back their emotions, and not holding back necessarily, but controlling the emotions and not allowing themselves to really feel the emotions. And this is for both twins. I know that as the Divine Feminine, we tend to think that, we're more awake, which we may be, but also there are things in our subconscious that is keeping this connection from coming into balance. If there wasn't, then the masculine energy wouldn't be holding any subconscious beliefs either. So that's how there's still work to do. Otherwise, you would be in harmonious union. So this is talking about like letting those emotions out, expressing them, and telling each other how you feel is a big deal. Like really opening up to intimacy and an intimate partnership, because that's what brings this into balance. I feel like I'm hearing there's words unspoken in this connection at this time, and that's changing. It's because both parties are accepting that this connection is real. They're accepting that it's meaningful, and whether the Divine Masculine understands twin flames or not, they still understand that they're accepting the things, something that they've understood for a while, that this connection was meaningful. They're actually accepting that now. They're not pushing it away, and they're taking the steps to move towards it. And both parties are taking steps to move towards this connection. All right, so now I'm going to get some cards on the possible outcome. Give me a card on the possible outcome. What is the possible outcome with these eclipse energies? We're getting the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. This to me is talking about working on a stable foundation. So I feel like there's I'm drawn to this girl holding the candle, and she has all this stuff around her, and it's like before she lit the candle, she couldn't see any of these things, and I feel like a light is being shown on the parts of us that are keeping this connection from coming together. And as we do that, as we bring more light into that, it does create something very stable in the physical, something that we can touch, taste, see, hear with our senses. It's not just something in the ether. It's not just, a 5D thing that kind of a dream or an imagination. It's a real tangible foundation to this connection. And that's being set at this time, the month of May, with these eclipses. I'm going to get another card with these two. Oh, I saw it. It was the tower that flipped over. And this is, you know, talking about divine intervention, which is the eclipse. I feel like these eclipses are that divine intervention of transformation, change, and it may be something that kind of unfolds throughout the month of May, but I do feel like both parties are experiencing this tower of just kind of a crumbling of the old foundation and a building of the new foundation. Okay, so that's the reading for the twin flames in this current energy with the eclipses. And I do want to get a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle, just because they're so beautiful and they always have such awesome messages for us. Give me one card. And we get time for a nap. This is just talking to me about, and here, you know, here we see the moon, which to me again is speaking about the eclipse energies, and this fox is just kind of resting there. And you know, the fox is pretty sly, pretty strategic, always on its toes kind of animal. Like when I think of a fox, always thinking ahead and strategizing. And I feel like this is kind of saying, like, put that to rest at this time. You can rest in these energies. You can rest in these energies knowing that this is occurring, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to, you know, worry about what to do next or how this is going to come together. Like, if you're asking how or what, you can just relax. You can drop those questions and just remember why this connection is important, and you know, think of, just really keep your mind in a high vibration, and don't allow yourself to get into these, how is this going to happen, or what do I need to do, because there's nothing for you to do. There's nothing for you to do, and it's all happening for you now. And I feel like this month of May is super important for these connections to start really coming together in a very physical way, with this King of Pentacles energy. This is like very grounded, very settled, very certain, you know. So if you're feeling uncertain at this time, you can be certain that things are occurring for you, that the universe wants these connections to come together more than you do. Like I said, it's always seeking for balance in all areas of Earth. That's always something that's occurring, whether you are participating or not. It's always seeking balance. And this balance of the masculine and feminine energies coming together is super important. And so that's being achieved. And you don't have to wonder how it's going to happen. You don't have to do anything at this time. Take a nap. All right, that's your reading.